live anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So what's up with you guys today? Hi, Jody. How you doing? I am trying to get this program over here to, edit. Okay, so let's just edit them out of here. We'll take them out, remove. So what's going on out there in the world today? Now we're moving. Okay. So what's happening? I've got you over here on Instagram. I've got you guys over here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the rest. This is just like kind of an ad lib little show. What's going on? Hey, B12 Bowen, how you doing? With you guys on Facebook and that, you can comment as well. I voted today. Did you guys see that? I went down to the courthouse and I said, what do I have to do to absentee vote? And they said, just show us your ID. What a novel idea. Yeah. In Montana, we actually require identification for you to vote. Now, I know that's a crazy idea. And why would anybody need identification in order to vote in an election? Oh, I wish I could have seen that. Did any of you guys watch the Brett Baer from Fox interview with Kamala Harris? It was going on from 4 to 4:30. I don't have the channel, so I'm gonna have to watch it later on something. But I'm seeing news flashes coming up all over the place. And so anyway, you really need to vote early, especially if you're a Republican or a non-Democrat, because the Democrats have been doing this for a long time, and it really gets the numbers out. And what I didn't understand is once you voted, then the money that's spent from the candidates goes to people who haven't voted. So I'm helping with that. So anyway, I went down today, got my ballot, did my voting thing. It's nice in Montana because even there they have little polling stations like we used to have in Oregon, like the little polling station you go to and you do your thing. And that was pretty fun because you still feel like, I love going on election day, but there's also the fact that what if you get sick? What if something comes up? The babysitter doesn't show up, you have to go to work and you can't get off at lunch to go vote. If you do it early, I don't know what it's like in Oregon anymore because I don't know how that works, but I'm sure it's easier than here. And all I had to do was go into the courthouse, ask for my ballot, show my identification. They marked me off. I voted. You put it in an envelope just like you do when you're voting by mail, and then you stick it in the little box. I was just waiting for my ballot. Then I will fill it out and turn it in. Oh, because Oregon, yeah, you got vote by mail. So, but get them in soon, early. Don't wait till the last minute. It's so nice to be in a state where we don't have mail-in ballots because, I know that. I used to live there. I hate it. It's easy, but participating civically doesn't have to be easy. We have to have everything convenient. And I just think there's more opportunity to cheat when it's done by mail. And this is such an important election. Did you guys hear today that the FBI came out with new statistics, new revised crime statistics? And so in the last debate, David Muir, the news anchor supposed to be moderator for the debate, was fact-checking Trump when Trump said that the crime was way up in the United States. And David Muir said, no, the latest statistics from the FBI say that it's not. Well, guess what? And Trump said, no, they are. And he was right. The new statistics came out from the FBI today, and crime has shot up under the Biden and Harris administration extensively. So the fake news, the fact checkers have the wrong facts. And but here's the problem. Nobody cares except for us. Everybody else is just not paying any attention. So, and you can't go back and change it. And so, you just hope that people are doing their research and finding out. I found out some really interesting information. I was listening to an interview the other day, and it was about a woman who is friends with Kamala Harris. and knew her and knows of her history, is not a fan. And it was very eye-opening, because I'm a big voter integrity guy, because that's why I wanted to run for Secretary of State, And several years ago, in one of her, it was either her district attorney or the attorney general, which neither one she was qualified for. She says that she's tried hundreds of cases. It was like 8. Yeah, hundreds of cases. But there's in California, I think this is kind of cool. I guess they have a way that you as a politician can say, I will only do for for a certain race. For her race, it was $211,000. That's all you could spend. And so she agreed to that. So did all the other candidates. She signed off on it. They put it in the voters pamphlet. Turns out some group did some checking, and it wasn't a Republican group. Some group did a check-in, and she spent $600,000. So she went to the ethics commission, which just happened to be appointed by her ex-lover and boyfriend, who was married, Willie. And they slapped her on the wrist, and she got away with it. Election fraud. So she and her party are so damned and determined to try Donald Trump on trivial things. And she has broken election laws and gotten away with it. But nobody wants to hear that. And they just want to go, oh, Rick, you're just a MAGA boomer or something. It's like, no, facts matter. And this woman is scary. I mean, that's scary. If you're okay with that, and then you go back, and that's only one case out of many, many things that she's manipulated information to look better than she is. Nothing new. Special K, her interview with Brett is cringeworthy and nothing answered. I saw mostly anger and frustration. Okay, Steve, good. You saw. Did they say if they're going to play that somewhere else? Did she answer any of his questions at all? I got to trim. I noticed I didn't comb my beard. It's important. So did she? Facts do matter, Anna. You're right. All politicians break the rules. No, Josh, they don't. I don't trust politicians either. But we keep saying that, and I'm not picking on you, okay? I really am not. But we got to stop saying that, and we should expect more. We should be voting on people who we have higher expectations for, because they're supposed to represent us. I've been a Democrat my whole life, not anymore. Woodfloor Steve, I love your name, by the way. I've been a non-affiliated voter most of my life, and I'm happy. In Montana, I am a Republican, because here, a Republican is like a normal person. She deflected to Trump a lot. Did she really, Anna? She dodged the invasion of immigration question. I'm sure she did. Yeah, she's the czar of immigration. I think anybody who's even thinking about voting for her should look at that. She was put in charge. She was put in charge by Joe Biden, her boss, of the border, and she did nothing. We have like 20 million people that crossed into our country, a lot of them terrorists and criminals and murderers. And it's like, and she did nothing. And then people are going, oh, like intelligent people that should know better than this. She's done nothing to prove that she can run this country. It's amazing to me. Everything is still Trump's fault. Yeah. Doesn't that remind you of like little kids on the playground in middle school? It's like, yeah, everybody else's fault. Well, how come they didn't do anything? How come the economy's in a shithole? How come our energy, we're dependent on other countries for energy? And then what's really bothersome is they make up lies. The media makes up lies, and then the people repeat them. And they come at you with information like this is real, and you're going, do you not even do any research? Have you not even looked that up? It's crazy. So anyway, it doesn't, for me, I voted. I'm done. I mean, I'm not done. I'm going to keep harping on this as long as I can. So today I put together this little video. You'll see it on my page and stuff. God, I should have aired it. Maybe I can still do that. But I put together this little video. And Instagram would not let me put it up. It was about voting early because the Democrats do. And they would not let me put it up. Let me see if I can do this, okay? I'm going to try something here. I think I can do this. I'll put it up, this little video that I made, that Instagram, 3 times I tried to put it on there and they would not let me. So here it is. Oh, whoops. Looks like your audio file doesn't have a video track. Huh, maybe that's the problem. Well, I sure put it on there fine. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I would show it to you. You can go on my page and find it and you'll see it. Chase, how you doing? This is where we are on Instagram. And I'm just doing a little live show before I do a TikTok show. Hey, sorry, I was on the phone. No, I got your message, man. I got your message. So, so Chad, I see your message. It's just another fact of his lives. Okay, so you disagree. That's fine. I disagree with what you're saying over here, but that's fine. You can say what you want, but you got to go back and look. Chadwick, is that your real name, Chadwick? What I would inspire you, ask you to do is you should go look at what was that conviction and what were people saying about it. That's what you need to look at. Do a little teeny bit more digging on that one, because that might help you out just a little bit. And then look at the appeals process and what's going to happen on that. I think the 2 vice president candidates are way better choices than we have. Okay, Josh. So you think Tim Walz and JD Vance would be better, like we should be voting on the 2 of them? Huh, I've never heard that before. That's interesting. That's your point of view. I myself am getting so sick and tired of this crap. It's called censorship. The censorship is bizarre. I mean, I had another video, and what's funny on Facebook, not funny, but ironic, weird. They pulled a video, but I don't know what it was. It was like from 3 months ago. And they say, this doesn't meet our community standards. Like, well, it did for 3 months. And then you found it. And I don't even know what it was. They never tell you what the video is. And they said, you can protest this if you want, but you have nothing to protest because you don't know what it was. So yeah, it is so weird. The only thing you can post anything on is X. And I don't like X that much. I 100% agree, Carrie. 100% agree. So are you guys voting early? Are any of you considering voting early at all? Or what are you thinking? And later, Rick, got to go. Okay, see, Josh. And how many, did any of you else besides Steve, and we had one person over here, Anna, I think it was, who watched the interview today with Harris? And did anybody else see it? I don't have the ability. I don't have Fox subscribed to, so I don't watch much of that kind of stuff on TV. She avoided a question about Biden's competency, meeting with him 1 time a week for 3 years. What I find interesting about that, and Chase, I'm warning you, we are talking a little bit about politics, just so you know, is now Kamala and the media, and she started it, her campaign, they're all talking about that Trump is not, he's too old and he's not, I don't, competent or something like that. Well, you stuck up for Biden for 3.5 fucking years, and the guy's a fuck nut. He was not even there. He has dementia. And you pretended like he was okay. And now you're going to bring this out about Trump. I think that's such bullshit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, I mean, don't you, like in your own life, you try not to be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? And the problem with lying is it catches you because you forget what you lied about, or you don't care. I don't even think they care anymore. And so you just tell a lie, and then you forget, and you just say another thing. And then the public just is like, oh, all politicians lie. Well, beyond, no, they don't get to do, you don't get to, that's like, that's like your doctor lying to you. Well, yeah, he told me I had prostate cancer and he took out my prostate and I can't get an erection anymore. But all doctors lie. God, all politicians lie. Well, then get somebody else. Chris, how you doing, man? I vote the day I get my ballot. And my dad asked me to come help him since he isn't able to do it himself. Yeah, that's another thing you could do is find out if you have neighbors who are older who can't have a hard time getting to the polls or getting their ballot in. That's super helpful to people. we have people that drive people to the polls and stuff on the day, but do try to vote early. It's really super important because the Democrats have been doing this for years, and that's why they kick everybody else's butt. The Green Party, the Republican Party, the Independent Party, they beat us to the punch, and you got to get those you got to get those things in. So I did it today. I'm done. Well, let's silly laugh at her. She needs to put a bag over her head and go on as unknown comic. I don't want to pick on her personally. It's just like, but she's not good at her job. That's not a personal thing. She's not that bright about it. I don't think. And I don't know who her campaign staff is, but man, I'd be firing them like quick. She never actually answers a question. She just twisted to be dig on Trump. Yeah, it's like, why was your mother from wherever she's from? Well, it's Trump's fault. Why was there a hurricane? Well, that's Trump's fault. Everything's Donald Trump. Donald Trump, they're so afraid of him. It's bizarre to me. I'm much more afraid of Kamala than I am of Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump exaggerates. Oh, yeah, he does. And he gets himself, he doesn't answer. He's not succinct. Like, J.D. Vance is very succinct with his answers, I mean, and he knows, you can tell he's debated before because he knows how to go in and come around the back door. Trump just kind of opens his mouth and says things and, you go, But all you got to look at is who led the country better. 4 years. Where were we? Where are we? That's all I got to do. If I'm looking at a manager and I see somebody that does a good job and somebody does I can figure that part out. I'm not stupid. When she was asked about transgender surgeries, good. For prisoners, inmates, she said, everyone has to be responsible for their own administration. What the hell does that mean? Hey, that's a question I have for you guys. What do you think about, because this is becoming a big issue for this election, I'm hearing, and I want to know if you guys agree, is what do you feel about biological men playing in women's sports? I don't care what an adult does. If they want to do the whole trans surgeries and all that stuff, hey, more power to you. It's your life. It's your body, your choice. Just like it's my body, my choice if I want to wear a mask or get a vaccine. Just like it's your body, your choice if you want to get an abortion or not. So we all have our body, our choice. I don't care about that. But should a man who is transing or becoming a transgender or thinks he's a woman or wants to be a woman, whatever the language I'm supposed to use is, which I just screwed up and who cares. But if that person, I don't believe they should be able to play on a women's team. I think it's wrong. It's not wrong. I mean, they can create, it's wrong. They should create something for them or they play as a biological male because science shows it's not fair. Oh, Chadwick, there you are. I honestly think the president is a glorified sales rep for the U.S. Congress, runs most of the show, and the Supreme Court seats. Trump is just who I would hire to be the face of our nation. I'm sure he has some good ideas, though. He is a forward thinker, just kind of too much narcissism for me. I get that. I think, and she's a narcissist too, though, you got to say. I mean, you look at her past. I listened to this whole podcast. And you listen to her past and what she's done. It is all about her. She's not about people, the country, none of it. It's all about her. And Trump is an egomaniac. I don't know if he's a narcissist, but in my opinion, I'm not trying to get in a fight with you, Chadwick, but I mean, I think he's an egomaniac. But I think if to run for president, I think you are. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. Men should not play on teams. Let's see. That does have that Hillary cringe. Oh, he does have that Hillary cringe. Well, I'll just, she, yeah. And when I heard somebody on the news the other day say, I thought it was kind of funny. It wasn't a news, it was a talk show. But he said, if I have to listen to her voice, I'm going to be so mad at Democrats for 4 years. It is annoying. I mean, just personally, her voice is annoying. But so is Trump when he gets on this, he does this thing where he's like going, what I always cringe because as a news anchor, I agree, Anna. As a former newscaster, we were told, or I was coached, that you never use, you don't use me, like my administration. Like when I'm on the news, you would not say we'll be back with my weather forecast, or we'll be back with, you know, anything with it's we. We'll be back with your weather because it's about you. We'll be back with that story. When I go out and do a story and I say we, because I had a photographer there, and then you've got directors and producers. So you always be really inclusive of all the people working in there. And Trump doesn't do that. He go, he could say, my administration did this, or my administration, under my administration, under my leadership, we did this. That kind of stuff is fine, but it's always, I changed this, I did this, I did that, I did. And it just gets real, as a guy who's cautious of that, I don't do it all the time, but I'm cautious of it. It bugs me. I just cringe and go, oh, why doesn't somebody tell him? Somebody just say, you got to take me and I out of your vocabulary. It's like, oh, drives me crazy. Well, hello, Danny Raymond over there. So I have had a few answers to the question. Do you think biological men, should they be able to play on teams? Is that a big issue for you? How big is abortion for you in voting on stuff like this? How big is the economy? Hey, Jordan, how you doing? How big is the economy? Where do they rank? What would be your 1, 2, and 3 on what you're voting for? And if there's any Dems out there watching, how big is just you hate Donald Trump and that's why you're voting? That'd be your number one issue. As Charlie Kirk says, you're not voting for one person, you're voting for 5,000 people. Yeah, I agree. That is true. Oh, what time is it? Okay. I got a TikTok live I'm doing at 5 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. But so the point we're talking about is you do need to vote early. Okay. And I know that goes against some of your, standards and the things you do. Border immigration for me is my biggest issue. Okay. Jordan says border. That's a big one for me too, because we're paying, and I know the news poo-pooed this and tried to downplay it, but they really were spending money from FEMA to support people here illegally. And then there wasn't enough money, but now they found it to put it into people in our own country. That drives me nuts. Absolutely nuts. What the hell are we, FEMA, Federal Emergency Management money for allowing people in here illegally? Good God. I mean, come on. That doesn't make any sense. We got people in Appalachia right now who aren't even found and their houses are gone. And we're spending billions, millions and billions on people that aren't even supposed to be here. And that's not racist. If any of you are sitting there going, that's racist. Oh, horseshit. No other country allows illegal people into their country the way that the Biden-Harris administration has done it. None. And just remember, if you're voting for Harris, she had a job for 4 years, 3.5 years, now coming on 4, at the border. And it's the biggest problem in our country right now. And she was in charge of that. And they can poo-poo it, but she was. There's sound bites where Biden put her in charge of it. The very beginning of the interview, she was asked about border security and the number of illegal immigrants, and she would not give an actual answer. That's really surprising. So let me ask you this, those of you, you're probably biased. Is there anybody out there who watched it and just said, did this damage her more than it helped her? Or are the people who are going to vote for her just going, yeah, I don't care, and not watching Fox because, that's where Satan works and all that? Definitely not racist. They're bringing the behavior they're accustomed to into here, which is not moral behavior. Well, and one thing I don't understand is when you go to a new country, you acclimate. You don't go there and they have to then be who you are. You can bring your culture with you, but you acclimate. It's like when you go to someone's house for dinner. You don't go in and say, oh, here's how we do it. You acclimate to the place you're there. So if you're coming to this country, then you do things the way we do it. When I go to Mexico, I do things the way the Mexican people do it. When I was just in Italy, I went in, I didn't say, hey, you don't charge me for a seat at a table to have a restaurant. We don't do that in America. Yeah, you have to take a tip even though you don't take a tip. I'm going to make you take a tip. You acclimate with people, and we let people come into our country, and then all of a sudden we say we need to be everything to everyone. Well, no, there's American values and American ideals, and that's what you come. If you come here, that and most of the people I know, well, all the people I know who've come here legally and gone through the process, oh my God, they're so happy to acclimate to our country. That doesn't mean they don't bring their culture, and we enjoy that in our neighborhood or something like that. Junction City and Oregon always had a Scandinavian festival, and everything was able skeevers and all that. The culture was there, but they were Americans first because they came to this country and became Americans. We bring people in here and then water everything down, and then we wonder why we're losing our culture as Americans. It's crazy, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, this has been an interesting conversation. A lot of you people out there doing your thing. So anyway, I'm going to go over on TikTok now because I do that at 5 o'clock. If you guys are on my TikTok channel, if you're not, and it's a little racier conversation. It can turn into anything, but it's a little bit crazy. I'm just warning you. So anyway, share this on your page. Let other people know. Be sure and encourage people to vote early. Okay. And it does matter how you vote and who you vote for. If you don't know who's on, if you have people running for Supreme Court judges and stuff like that, figure out who they are. Aren't Americans immigrants? Not all. Actually, I mean, I'm not. I didn't immigrate to this country, Chadwick. I was born in the United States of America. So I didn't. My great-great-grandparents immigrated here, but they came here and then they acclimated with what was going on in the country at that time. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, no, I'm not. Not all Americans are immigrants. No, at least I'm not. And that's how I see it anyway. Interview will air later tonight. Oh, does it really, Jody? Where on what? Do you know? Or is it going to air on? Because I don't have Fox. I don't pay for it. The only thing I pay for is Netflix and Amazon Prime, because I just watch shows on those. And Kathy and I went, we're not spending hundreds of dollars on this stuff. All right. So, yeah. I think that's all I need to tell you. Okay. So, just heard Brett say it. Okay. Did he say what time? Unclear where. Okay. And what time? Okay. Well, I'll be going home after this. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Share this on your page. Have a good night. Get out there and vote early. Get it in. You probably can see most of it on YouTube later. Right. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. I know, I'm an old guy. I don't understand the world anymore. Yes, I'm here, Sarah. I'm heading the other direction. All right. Good night, my friends on